Hello, everyone. This is our ninth and final composer report for the semester. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Weather's getting real nice. You can probably feel classes are coming to a close, or at least I'm seeing less and less work being given out and more preparation for the finals. I hope everybody's doing okay, and you guys enjoy this composer report. I'll be doing it today on Missy Mazzoli, and yeah, here we go. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do a little bit of a cityscape because Missy Mazzoli lives in New York now. She grew up in Pennsylvania, America, obviously, just in case you didn't know what I was talking about. But Missy Mazzoli, like I said, was grew up in Pennsylvania, and she, from an early age, which she assumes about 10 years old, she wanted to be a composer and really fell in love with music, specifically Beethoven and the classics. She was not classically trained or anything like that, but she was just into classical music at an extremely young age, 10, and began to kind of obsess over music and how to create it. That passion and or desire of hers never really went away, and she kind of just developed it as she aged. Moving to New York was kind of significant for her, and being a part of New York, I could say that we were neighbors. Her and I kind of lived in the town over across the bridge. I was over by Williamsburg, and she was in Greenpoint. So I can say I agree with a lot of the things that if you were to live in that kind of environment, you're going to come into contact with a lot of sounds. You're going to come into contact with a lot of raw emotion and just inspiration. So that is kind of something that I believe that she took from living in New York, and being a part of that environment was what kind of allowed her to bloom and blossom. That's the sentiment that I got from that, and allowed her to not start composing contemporary music, but get in touch with her contemporaries. She was able to be a part of the artistic world. That's a rather large scene in New York, especially in Brooklyn, especially in northern Brooklyn. There's a lot of art there. There's a lot of people who are either in physical art, art on a canvas, art with an instrument, art with their voice, art. There's just so much art there. And it's cool. It brings a lot of the life to it, and I can understand how you can, as an artist, would gain a lot of inspiration from that. Missy Mazzoli is known for her operas. That's kind of where all this was going. She herself expresses the joy and influence of emotion, and kind of how we've talked about other composers in the past looking for music that's really not on the page, but kind of inspired from the world around them, whether it was train sounds or really the sound of silence in nature. She gets her inspiration from human emotion, and how we kind of tend to not stay in one emotion, but drift into all emotions, even in regular situations or extreme situations. She sees her music as tonal and atonal, and extremely dissonant at times for that reason, because that is human emotion. It's never really one perfect thing that we can write on a page. Our levels of intrigue, fear, excitement, wherever you want to go with that, it's always changing. So that's kind of how she sees her music, always changing and developing. I thought that was very interesting. I never really knew where music inspiration comes from, and apparently all these composers have different inspirations. And I just thought hers was very interesting, that she sees her music more like an emotional ride than an actual, a composition of notes on a page, or mathematics. Some sort, very structured and whatnot. As I had mentioned, she is known for her opera compositions. But I will be featuring one of her quartet compositions for strings. Missy Mazzoli has composed music for all sorts of different ensembles, and excuse me. She is, in fact, a very well-rounded composer. Her greatest success has come from the Opera House, and she is the first woman to be commissioned by the Metropolitan Opera, which is a serious accomplishment. and she has kind of come of age in a do-it-yourself environment, and really a part of this new music wave that's coming through. I think we focused on a couple of the composers of this new wave. Next week, I believe, is when Shaw comes up. I might be a little ahead. I'm not sure, but Shaw was definitely a part of that new wave of new composers, kind of tearing down the gates and just kind of kicking the door in. And Missy Mazzoli is a part of that. It's really good to see that. And I'm happy that we're ending the course that way, kind of in this contemporary field, because I didn't know that there were composers less than 45-ish, 40 maybe by now, that are working and doing, excellent work. You can go to the Chicago Symphony, the Metropolitan Opera in New York. You can see some of her work being performed. She's an accomplished composer just as much as some of the ones that are no longer with us and in the past. But it's good to see that music is moving forward. It's good to see that there's a new generation taking up the conductor wand, so to speak. And yeah, as always, all descriptions. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I usually try to pick the ones that don't have ads. I guess I grabbed the wrong video. My bad. As always, all descriptions and links will be put at the video at the bottom, especially the Ivalas Quartet performing Death Valley Junction. That'll be the the musical selection for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a great semester, and I really hope everybody passes all their classes and gets to just graduate if you're graduating, or get ready for that next semester if you're doing the summer session. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.